What's up, fam? Alright, here we are, hooked up to the YouTube finally. Please let me know. What's up, fam? Alright, here we are. But it looks like everything is up and running well. Believe the sound is coming through. Looks pretty solid here on my end at least. So let's just dive right on into this. So we had a big week this week with earnings from a couple bigger names, and definitely shook up the market here. But before we dive in here, as always, going to just check out what we got coming up on the economic calendar. So, as always, just coming here to Market Watch. If you are interested in finding this yourself here in the future, just come to Market Watch, hit economy here in this top bar, and you'll hit this US economic calendar, and bam, you'll have this upcoming week's calendar here. So nothing too crazy here at the beginning of the week, but definitely looking to CPI here on Thursday and then PPI here on Friday. But most importantly, this inflation number on Thursday here before market opens. I've had some pretty solid CPI reportings here in the past. Continues to go down, so let's hope they continue this trend. And hopefully, after this little shakeup we had here in the market, we have definitely some room to go higher, and hopefully they allow us to go higher. Also, always like to check out here the Federal Reserve calendar. Sometimes we have some events here that pop up that don't come up in our Market Watch calendar. So looking here to tomorrow, 8/7, nothing too crazy. I don't know, looking like a light week here from the Fed. Definitely what we like to see. Some weeks where they leave us alone finally. And of course, we have our earnings here for the week. So let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Haven't taken a very deep look into this myself just yet. We got Twilio here for those who trade Twilio, Datadog. TTD. I don't know if anyone still trades that, but Roblox. Disney, okay, here on Wednesday after the bell. Looking like not too big of names here this week though. Especially here, predicted trades, we like to focus on options, and so we pretty much focus on the mega caps because why do you need more, right? So alright, not really too wild of a week with earnings, so not going to be too stressed about that. Of course, we got our big ones out of the way earlier this week. That being Amazon, Apple, some chips as well, right? And we got a solid little shakeup here in the market. We are back down at the mean, trying to get back above it here midweek, and had a really stiff rejection here at these lower time frame squeeze tops Friday in the second half of the session. So really interested to see where they take us from here. Now that we have gone back under the mean, of course, looking for a bounce at these lower time frame squeezes. Got a 2-hour squeeze here, an hour, and a 30-minute. See if we can bounce at these lower time frame squeezes and get back above this daily mean, right? Around here as well, in this teal or cyan color, I have the daily 8 exponential moving average just above our daily 21 here in tan. You know, these levels are very likely to be pretty much stacked on each other or really close to each other if we do get this bounce from the market. So definitely a level to put some risk on, right? You know, as I always say, just looking for some good levels to put some risk on. We can bounce back up to this daily mean and can crack through it. Looking for some puts on that rejection if we can get above this daily 21 and daily 8. Looking for some calls here, maybe on a pullback and a bounce at those levels. So let's look at some levels here. A little cluttery, I know. But let's see. Got a couple old points of control here for some support if we do happen to start firing these lower time frame squeezes to the downside. And I really like this June point of control here at about this 44.20-ish if we do see some more downside here in the market overall. We also have this daily 50 simple moving average here in this gold stair-stepping line. A good stop in between current price action and this point of control. So just trying to keep it simple here, right? If this, then that. If we happen to crack below this low from Friday, start to fire these squeezes down, then I'm just looking for a move down here to this daily 50. It will likely line up with a good psych level here of 45.50. And then again, right, looking for either a bounce at that point and maybe a move back up to this zone of consolidation, or we start to crack below and I'm looking for a move down to this point of control from June. Looking over here to the Keltners, of course, as we were talking here, sitting just below the mean, right? Keltners here show us the mean in this thick white line in the center, and then an average move up and down for 1 day of work, right? This is 1 ATR up, this is 2 ATR up, and so forth, right? And then 1, 2, 3 down right here. So I've got plenty of room to play here either way on the Keltner, so I'm not really sweating this too much right now. And let's see, on a daily chart here, starting to test the bottom of this channel right here, kind of like a megaphone, not too dramatic, but starting to crack below this trend line here. Let's see if we can catch a bounce, or if not, maybe looking down to this daily Ichimoku top here, a little bit under 4,400. Could give us another target to the downside if they continue to go lower than this June point of control. Right, we'll have this daily Ichimoku top at about 43.70-ish, 43.80 maybe, depending on when we get there, if we get there. So just another target under this June point of control if we end up going that low. Move on to NQ here. NQ, of course, going to have a similar setup, right, as our indices tend to travel together. So tech really taking some heat here all the way up from the top of this third Keltner channel. Was really looking for a better recovery after getting really close to the mean here. Was calling for some stronger rotation from out of YM and into NQ at about this time, but we got an overall market sell-off, and here we are back under the mean after having a really strong run from NQ, from all of tech here, to not test the mean in a while, even coming close, but continuing strong, right, through June, through July, and now here in August, starting to crack below the daily mean. So going to go through this a little quicker because, again, looking at about the same setup as ES as we would expect. If we break below these lower time frame squeezes, looking for a move down here to this daily 50 simple moving average in gold. Also have a squeeze popping up here. Let's see what this little guy is. Ooh, we have a daily squeeze bottom popping up here. just below this daily 50. If we continue to get some downside action here in NQ, could keep this daily 50 right here, and maybe we get a test of this daily squeeze bottom as well as this daily 50. For some upside, looking for the bounce here at this or at these lower time frame squeeze bottoms to see if we can get back up and get back above this mean. Tech has overall been pretty strong. Apple and Amazon came in with some decent earnings, but everything sold off anyway. So let's see, maybe they're just preparing here for CPI and PPI later this week. Obviously, a market sell-off here to the mean and below the mean gives us a lot of room to the upside for possibly a strong recovery with some good CPI numbers here on Wednesday. So let's just check out some levels real quick. Probably about the same setup, yep. So another one that I was talking here, just like in ES, right? If we do break below here, looking to this June point of control in the mix with this daily squeeze bottom that has popped up, as well as this daily 50 that is creeping up down here. And a similar setup here on the daily Ichimoku cloud. Looking for a couple days worth of work to get down and test that level. So we shall see, we shall see. Moving on here to small caps. Ruddy. Ruddy's still holding on to this weekly squeeze. You can see this cloud right here, very long across my chart, right? It's a very large time frame. It is a weekly squeeze. Right at the top of it, as Ruddy has come on a good run, as we can see here on this daily chart with the Keltners. A solid W here on this daily mean has given us a strong drive in small caps, and now just trying to hang on. I would say overall, Ruddy's still holding on pretty well compared to our other indices, as it's gone pretty much sideways here after taking a nice drive out of this W, and we're seeing some good price acceptance near this 2,000. But again, you know, losing 2,000 and staying below it here a bit. So continuing the battle here to stay above this massive cycle level of 2,000. But really love to see Ruddy here holding onto the mean, right? As we have seen here with the other indices, we were just hanging out below the mean, but Ruddy hanging out above the mean. So let's see if Ruddy can continue here in this overall bullish trend. I know we're pretty sideways here and squeezing, but definitely a nice climb out of Ruddy all the way back here from May in these 1700, 1800 level here. And of course got these lower time frame squeezes right on this daily mean. So really love to see that for some combined support here for the upside. Got a 1 hour, a 2 hour, some bigger ones, I'm sure a 4 hour squeeze bottom here as well. Love to see that for Ruddy. Check out some levels here. And we got some lows here from the past couple weeks. This is the low from this past week, the low from the week before that. So we do have some good support from some previous price action as well. Right, I like to keep track of recent big players in the market with these highs and lows that I mark manually on my charts. You know, I can see that for the past 2 weeks they have held Ruddy above these two levels, and here we are still. So let's see what else we got here. Oh, Ruddy cracking above that weekly Ichimoku cloud here in the last couple weeks and still holding above, right? Our W is right in here, right? This W right here is right in here, right on that weekly Ichimoku bottom here at the end of June, beginning of July. Some really nice support there to crack above this weekly Ichimoku cloud. getting some resistance right at that same level that we got here. Oof, what is that? End of January. So yeah, a tough level to crack here for Ruddy. Looking at high of year if we can get above this 2016-ish. Some solid levels here for Ruddy. Alright. NYM, our other large index here. YM, so YM actually holding up better than I expected. You know, I was calling out in the last couple of weeks for a rotation out of YM and into NQ, and in this sell-off, NQ sold off more than I expected and is actually below the mean. YM here hanging out with Ruddy and staying up above the mean. I know we had some good earnings here for YM and some YM names. I know BA, Boeing had some good earnings, Cat as well, Caterpillar. So not too surprised to see YM still holding up well, staying above the mean, right? Was really strong on this run up and really resilient when the market did get some downside. So still holding up here decent for YM. Going to continue to watch this interaction here with the mean and just keeping it simple, right? Any name I trade that goes along with YM, looking for YM to stay above the mean for me to buy some calls. We crack below it, looking at some puts, but at a great place to put on some risk if your complementary name is also at some good levels to put on some risk, right? So looking here, we have some lower time frame squeezes as well, as expected here with the other indices having a similar setup. And so love to see these things line up as always, right? Got these lower time frame squeezes on this daily mean. And so again, a good level to put on some risk, right? We crack below these lower time frame squeeze bottoms. We're going to fire them to the downside, lose the mean as well. We should have some sellers interested, and we start to really sell off here below the mean. And to the upside, looking for that bounce here, of course. We have a nice weekly squeeze top here to the upside, giving us a good target at these larger psychological levels, 35,700, 35,800, which also puts us at the top of some of these previous zones of consolidation, right? Definitely got some big levels in here, and that's why we have these squeezes pop up and continue to hold on around these levels. All right, so let's move on to some names. Check out some strikes here along the way as well. Apple. Apple, of course, whether you trade it or not, use it as a market gauge, right? Apple, the biggest name in the S&P 500. It is something about, I don't know, 7.3% of the total S&P, something like that. So definitely pulls some weight and can sometimes pull us around. As many names tend to travel together, especially big tech names, of course. Apple many times leads the way. So definitely concerning here a bit, especially on this earnings drop right here. Apple really dropping hard. Going to very likely be firing all these squeezes here to the downside. Had some lower time frame ones here and a daily squeeze here. So yeah, definitely a concern here for the market overall with Apple taking such a big drop here after earnings. Cracking below the daily 50 here in gold, definitely one of our bigger stops here for some overall support when we do start to see some larger downside moves. So already cracking under that, coming back here on Friday, retesting it from below and rejecting and continuing to go lower as the day went on. So definitely a concerning look here for Apple. Has been on an overall very, very large leg to the upside. So, you know, she also does have plenty of room here to fall and, let's say, pick up again and have a nice rally to continue higher. Not too surprised to see the larger scale pullback come at such a large psych level as well here at this 200 that we've been fighting to get through. So let's see what this week brings. You know, something like some good CPI numbers and PPI numbers could just kind of erase all of this and shoot us back higher, and maybe we crack through this all-time high here for Apple. Getting pretty low on these Keltner channels as well here at this lower third of the daily Keltners. So looking for a bounce back here, maybe around this key psychological level of 180. Again, indices at a great place for a bounce, but with CPI and PPI looming, we could just see some chop after having seen such big moves made here end of week, especially after a lot of our bigger names have now reported their earnings. Could just be some chop as we wait for these economic events to unfold. Check out some levels here for Apple. Already cracking below this June point of control. So yeah, just really looking at some key psych levels here on our way down. Maybe this weekly 21, right? The weekly mean here I have in this tan dashed stair-stepping line. So overall, maybe looking at this 180 for a possible bottom here on this drop. You know, after some shaky earnings here, maybe just let Apple cool off for a couple days, maybe a couple weeks. But I would still say overall mission here is 200. And we'll see. You know, it could take a couple days here now. As we get through CPI, get through PPI, let some names cool off after earnings. A lot of these tech names took a little bit of a hit after earnings. Some with some great pops actually. So we'll have to see, maybe let all of our bigger tech names here kind of rebalance, rejoin each other, and now begin to make synchronized moves again. But for now, let's just look at some contracts here for Apple real quick. See what we got at Beast or not at Beast. Doesn't really look like I got anything highlighting here for Beast, so I'm not going to pay too much attention to this just yet, but definitely looking at maybe like this 185 here going into this week. Got some good volume. Maybe back down at Beast. Would love that, you know, if we do go down and test, what did I say, 180, we could see this 185 come and hit our Beast level. Let's just check it out on our chart real quick. Okay. And for those of you not familiar, this right here is our Beast tool. This is the main thing that we offer here at Predicted Trades. This is our tool that gives us our optimal buy zones and take profit levels here every single day on option charts and as well as on equity charts. So down here, our highlighted Beast zone is our most optimal buy zone, right? This is where we want to buy any options contract. A lot of times, you know, we have to really work our way down there before it hits. So we have these other zones that our tool provides throughout the day, no matter where price action is. But finally here, this 185 getting to Beast, let's see, came from 12 bucks up here, really far, really low volume, but finally picking up some volume here as we have really sold off in the past couple days. But anyway, so as I'm saying here, looking to buy this contract, possibly down to like 50 cents, a nice key level right above Beast, but really down to this 43 cent, 29 cent mark. Really love to see when our other zones stack on this zone. So this would have been a good buy zone as well on Friday had we really continued to sell off. But likely here tomorrow, we will get our opening range buy zone, this zone right here, stacking right on this Beast zone. And that'll give us a really great zone to buy this contract at tomorrow. If we're to get, or this week in general, if we're to get a bounce at, let's say, that 180 on Apple, very likely we will catch a bounce at this 185 call here at Beast. So that's really what we love the most about the system, is that I can really predict when and for how much a contract is going to cost me at a level that I like for support. So again, I'm looking to bounce at this 180 with a little bit more downside here this week, and likely this contract at the same time will bounce at this zone. And that's when I'll get into this contract. But alright, moving on. AMD. AMD is still holding on to this daily squeeze right here. Fat daily squeeze. Getting a little bit tighter here throughout the days. But we've been pretty sideways here on AMD right at the mean for a while, as you can see here on my chart with Keltner's. So again, we see the moves here, right? We've had this daily squeeze cloud up here for days, right? Lots of days here. We get up to it, even on earnings, couldn't really resist the market sell-off, right back down to the daily squeeze bottom. And all of last week I kept calling out, oh, I want this at 107, I want this at 107. Even before we got back down to 108 down here. Where was it? From up here, we kept saying 107, 107 for the buy. It held with this 108, 110 pretty well, had a nice move on earnings, but even still back to this 107 and making a nice move again from daily squeeze bottom to daily squeeze top, right? Really simple how these names move in squeezes. Sometimes we just need a better way to visualize it, and that's why we have here at Predicted Trades these squeeze clouds. A little bit of an improvement over Bollinger Bands, right? So I really like to see AMD here continuing to hold onto these simple moving averages. We kind of have them all bunched up here now. In green, I have the daily 15 simple moving average. My tan one again is the daily 21 exponential moving average. This teal cyan color is the daily 8 exponential moving average, and here we are, AMD getting above the daily 50 simple moving average here in gold and trying to hold on to it. Would love to see AMD hold this daily 50, get up and test this daily squeeze top again, and let's see if we can fire this baby to the upside. She has been waiting a long time here, so let's see if chips can start to get some juice and really take us higher. Check out some levels here. Kind of busy, I know. But again, we're above some levels that we were looking at here on some other names, right? Above this July point of control here from last month, June point of control, the one before that, above those levels. Here we have the current point of control, only about a week in, so not really a super significant level just yet. But of course, want to get above it, right? And, looks like we have some daily Ichimoku cloud interactions happening. Oh yes. So looking to get above this daily Ichimoku cloud as well, right? Cracked into it. We were getting some good support at it here for a couple days. middle of July, fell into it, been chopping it up here inside of it, almost cracked out the top of it with those earnings, but a stiff rejection back down to the bottom and held. Right, very convenient that our daily squeeze is right on these levels as well. So just love to stack all of these different supports here. Right, gives us some strong levels to put on some risk at. Right, always just looking for some good levels to put on risk. So depending on what the market gives us as a whole, if we can get up into this daily squeeze top again, we have a great level to put some risk on, right? Can we fire this and go higher, or do we reject and roll over and come back down to retest maybe this daily 50 again, right? Got a key psych level here of 115. We got some options once we enter this daily squeeze top. Let's look at some contracts real quick. Got the full week here on all these contracts we're going to see here today. So not really surprised if we don't see any right at beast. As you can see, my column here highlights when we're right at beast. But always looking for contracts close to at the money, right? Not going to pay too much attention to this out here. But nothing too wild, nothing too close here right at the money. Gonna give this one some time to unfold here before diving into some contracts. But I really like, this level of the daily 50 to put on some risk regardless. We'll just have to see what tomorrow morning looks like. Amazon, nice move here off of earnings. Really love Amazon here to the upside, but really gonna depend on the market as a whole, of course. Amazon cracking above this daily squeeze top right here. Love that. And, a very common thing we see here when firing a daily squeeze or attempting to, right, is a retest of the top of it. Or really, any squeeze, right? A lot of squeezes we'll see a crack out of it, a retest, and it comes back. But a daily squeeze especially. So let's see if we can continue to hold maybe this 140 and get some price acceptance here on Amazon after these earnings. But it's looking good, right? Really, for the drop we had on Friday, Amazon really held up here really well. Held this key psych level of 140, this daily squeeze top, and trying to hold this gap, right? Got a decent little gap here now. Let's see if Amazon can hold it here this week. Of course, got our usual suspects of simple moving averages below. See if we continue to keep these stacked up, and if Amazon can now really put in a good trend to the upside. Been sideways here at this 130-ish for a while. And in all of our preps here the past couple weeks has been saying, trying to get to this 130, trying to get to this 135, trying to get to this 130. Let's see if we can start talking about these 140s here for Amazon. Really love where it came off of as well here. Got really close to this daily Ichimoku top. Finding some nice support near here, blasting off on earnings. Love to see that. Get all of our levels here. Above all these point of controls here I have in blue, so love to see that. Even current point of control here, still under 130. I'm sure we'll move up quickly if we continue to hold price action here above 140. So nothing too crazy to see here with my levels. Let's just real quick check out some contracts. And, not surprised to see we have some puts here at Beast. Even the ones not highlighted are much closer to Beast. But would be careful here, right? Have a strong catalyst from these earnings. Doesn't necessarily have to pull back just because she is really up here in these Kellners, right? Typically looking for pullbacks up here or bounces down here. But with some earnings, you know, we could see what we've seen here in Google and in like Meta, right? Zuck just held for a while. You know, could just be a pullback to the squeeze top, fire it again up here to the upside, maybe just some chop here under this 150. So not going to pay too much attention to these puts here at Beast, but we'll just check some out here. Let's check out this 135 here for this upcoming week. Has a good buy percentage and has really good volume here outside of the money on the put side of the chain. So let's just check it out here with our tool on the right side here. So already like what I'm seeing here with our tool. Let me zoom out on this a little bit. And really came down from way up there. Not going to focus on that. Just going to focus here on Friday then. Really like what we saw here on Friday on this contract. This contract fell from multiple dollars way up there, as we just saw, right down here to our B zone, right? This zone has been here, as you can see, for days, and if I go back, you'll see it's been there for weeks, or for as long as this contract has had some volume on it. But right down here on Friday to our B zone after that pop, right? This contract wasn't really in play until Amazon took that pop off of earnings. And so then the local contracts start to get some volume, right? And boom, the volume starts to appear here at the price points that we predicted. So love to see this contract here holding our main B zone, right? We always say that if a contract is here holding our zone, it's very likely they will continue or try to play it again and use it, right? Use it and, you know, buy it up, sell it up, buy it up, sell it, whatever. But we're holding here, right? They accumulated this contract on Friday, here at about this 30-40 cents, and got some juice here into close up to about 75 cents, 80 cents, right? Really love to see that. So let's see what we get tomorrow. Maybe another pullback to the zone, maybe it continues higher, but love to see this interaction here with our Beast tool on this contract. So just a contract there to watch for Amazon. Google is one that has been pretty impressive here after this earnings pop. As you can see here, had a nice gap up after earnings, started to dip into it here in the last couple days, but still holding up in the gap and trying to hold on to this psych level of 130. Zoom this in a little bit here. So yeah, you know, really love to see some decent price acceptance here from big money on this Google pop. Hopefully this means that tech will ultimately start to get a nice little rally here again. As some of these tech names are giving looks of wanting to hold up, right? Even Apple, with that nasty dip down, has overall been on a great climb and has really no reason to drop too hard. Let's see again what these CPI and PPI numbers look like. But Google here, right, holding up really nicely near this 130. Want to continue to see this daily mean here, this tan stair-stepping line, continue to climb up and give us some support as this daily 8 is doing right here. Hopefully both of these moving averages will continue to give us support and let us go higher here with Google. Google, of course, struggling to continue this move higher because of other tech names, right, and the market in general selling off. But in comparison, again, Google with a good hold here with a gap up after earnings. Really nice support here from this weekly Ichimoku top as well, giving us a couple nice shelves to hold up here. And let's see if we can just continue to drive higher after this bounce here from this weekly Ichimoku top. And let's see, got some lows and highs here from the past couple weeks as well, to maybe give us some more support here at these lower time frame squeeze bottoms. So yeah, love to see that, love to see that. Let's see if Google can just keep holding up for now. It might just be that Google continues to hold up, allows other names to rebalance, see if we can get tech all back on the same page, and continue to make moves. Meta with a similar look here, right? Nice pop after earnings, a nice gap up, and then a move to continue hold up here at this 320. Had some nice news here, I believe, that day or two after earnings to pop it back up to this 326-ish. And then, of course, selling off here with the market. But like Google, continuing to hold up in this gap. So yeah, just love to see Zuck here just holding up. Again, looking for tech to kind of get back on the same page, and let's see if we can make a move back up here together. So just looking for Meta to continue to hold on. As you can see here on this weekly chart, right, not really paying attention too much to the Ichimoku cloud, but just these weekly candles in general. Meta on a rampage to the upside, right? Shoot, this entire year coming up from just a little bit over 100, and we are now here at 300 and some change. Looking hard to take this name down, so continuing to expect overall upside from Meta. Let's see if this daily mean holds on for us. Should continue higher from here. Would love to see a full test of this mean maybe once more to then buy some calls. Let's look at some contracts real quick. Let's see. Meta with some decent ATR as well, so we can look a little farther out the money on Meta. Almost 10 points on ATR here. ATR being average true range. Just what a move, or what a name can move on a given day. This is just the average move, up and down. Or up or down, I should say. So let's just check out here, maybe with some more volume, this 300, and that's about 10 points out. So maybe this 320 has some good volume on it as well. This 315 we'll check out on the other side. I'm not really looking to jump into this just yet, but let's see how these contracts are doing, right? Let's see. So this 300 put getting down here near our B zone. Maybe another little pop will get it there. But again, looking for a bounce at that daily mean here for Zuck. So maybe a little more downside here from Meta. We'll get something like this 315 call down to our B zone, which is right around $1. Really love that on options contracts as well. This buck is a great psychological level. Really love to see our zones kind of line up right around that dollar. So yeah, also with our B zone here, would love to see our other zones, our intraday zones, stack on it as well. Maybe as price action continues to move lower, our opening range buy zone here will ultimately stack here on our B zone. Maybe on Tuesday, maybe not tomorrow, maybe something like Tuesday, as we prepare for CPI and PPI, right? Microsoft. Microsoft, another one here, taking a little heat after earnings, but not too bad. Microsoft not selling off too bad here after earnings. Still here holding this daily squeeze, and a nice key psychological level here of 325. Would love to see Amazon or Microsoft hold this psychological level of 325. Maybe get some support here. And this daily squeeze bottom, and start to make a move back up to the top, right? We have the top of this squeeze here near 360, so this squeeze kind of loosening up, especially after some shaky earnings. Wouldn't be surprised to see Microsoft just chop it up into this daily squeeze here for a couple days or for a couple weeks even, as we maybe then start to build up a rally here in the next couple weeks. But keeping it simple here, right, looking for a move down to this daily squeeze bottom. Maybe it's even as low as 320 for some support. Still gives us a decent move, especially for options, right? 327 down to 320, definitely some money to be made on a downside move like that. And of course, upside, if we're talking here through this daily squeeze top, plenty of cash to be made here on calls to the upside, even if Microsoft just chops it up here in this daily squeeze. Check out some levels real quick. Holding this current point of control, again, just a weekend, so I'm not really paying too much mind to that. Maybe we get back up to this June point of control here. Oh, looks like we might have a daily Ichimoku cloud. Oh, yes, yes. Got this daily Ichimoku top here as well. Couldn't get through it here on Friday. Let's see. Maybe we can crack above it, test this daily squeeze top up here. After the fact, could just be a lot of chop. But Microsoft with a decent ATR here, 8.3. Still some good money to be made on options, even if Microsoft goes mostly sideways here for the next couple weeks. Just got to play these squeezes up and down. Alright, moving on. Netflix, another one, taking some heat after earnings. Of course, right at the top of that third color channel. Not surprised to see it happen right then and there. Boom, a huge drop here back to the mean, but a nice move to get back above the mean here and just hanging on, right? Just hanging on. All we need to see Netflix do right here is just hang on for a couple more days, as the rest of tech continues to reposition itself, and then we can start to move as a team again. Netflix, again, one of those names that I love, no matter what the earnings looks like, or if she does just go sideways forever on the equity here. Get some really nice legs for intraday on options, right? We're looking at a bounce here. Maybe you got in late here at this 428 on a bounce back, even 430. You moved all the way up to 436 here, right? This is some great legs for options. And Netflix usually will give you at least one or two of these per day, right? So ultimately, I don't care if Netflix doesn't go anywhere, because I trade options, right? And this is some good intraday movement for options. So let's just check out some contracts here. Netflix, of course, going to be pricier here earlier in the week. But again, Netflix, one of those names with a large ATR, almost 14, right? 14 per day, gets us a pretty good move here out of the money either direction. Obviously not going to do that calculation to the max, right? You want to try to chop that down maybe to a half. If we're talking 14 per day, maybe you look at like a 7-point day kind of move, right? Or something smaller for a leg. But since it's earlier in the week, you know, not really even looking to play something out of the money to in the money. You can just play it out of the money to a little bit closer out of the money, right? So let's just look at something like, even this 450. It's got some good volume on it. Let's check it out. And on the other side, we'll check out that 420. Probably will also check out this 445 on the call side. 450, let's go to the put side here. This put, what did I say? 420, 420. So still got a week on these contracts, so not surprising to see that we haven't tested our main B zone yet. Right, so we have our intraday zones here. So looking at this 450 call first, getting close though, right? Could even be tomorrow that we do test this B zone. And even then, looking at what our opening range sell zone and buy zone are in reference to our open level, you know, if we open here, we could very likely have our opening range buy zone stack right on this B zone. Definitely looking to buy this 450 call here at about 75 cents early in the week, right? And as we go deeper into the week, going to definitely step it up and get closer in strikes as they get cheaper and are more in play, right? And this 420 put also looking pretty solid here. Definitely respecting our beast levels, getting back up to this open level here on Friday. Again, looking for something similar here. If we get the inverse, maybe get down to this 50 cents here or so. Let's get a little closer here to this 425. Maybe this 425 here near a buck and this 80 cents. But we'll see what Netflix here gives us this week. Some levels real quick. And we got some points of control here. Bounced out this July one here on Friday. Right, pretty much on Thursday as well. Wednesday, this July point of control here early in August. Very effective still. Strong level of liquidity. And this June point of control just right below it, you know. So this whole zone here, a very strong zone of liquidity. So definitely looking to play some calls above this zone. If we crack below it, going to start looking very seriously at some puts here for Netflix. Also, as you can see, have this daily Ichimoku top here marked on my chart at about 415. Here it is here on the Ichimoku chart itself. Getting pretty close to it, right? Getting pretty close to it. Let's see if we get an H and maybe test it. We're looking for a bounce there. You know, ultimately looking for a bounce there. Wouldn't be surprised if we do get down to it. Maybe we bounce this level here again, right? Which would be this level right here. Bounce right at that daily Ichimoku top. Very possible. NVIDIA. NVIDIA. Looking like AMD here, right? Not as sideways, definitely some better moves here in NVIDIA, but currently sitting at the mean. Got some squeezes up above and some here below. So looking for this rally in chips, right? Looking for this rally in chips. If NVIDIA cannot hold on to the mean here, our next stop below would be this daily 50 here at this 424. Maybe call it 425 here tomorrow, even a little higher, 426-ish. And for upside, looks like we got maybe a daily squeeze here popping up. Yep, we have a daily squeeze here that popped up on Friday. So nice little target here to the upside at this 485, which I bet is this wick right here. 480, perfect. Right, it gets us pretty much back to the top of this consolidation here we saw in the last week as well. Check out some levels here. Got this July point of control to the upside, right where we had this consolidation early last week and into the end of the week prior. Yeah, I really like that as an upside target here if we can hold this current point of control and the daily mean. And perfectly stacking down here, pretty much at this nice psych level of 425, is our June point of control and this daily 50. A great target to the downside, right? So got a nice target to the upside here, a nice target to the downside, and we're at a great level to put on some risk, right? If you're buying some calls, if we lose the mean or stay under the mean, you're going to cut those calls quickly and just take a small cut. The inverse, if we're trying to buy some puts here under the mean and we start to crack above the mean and this point of control, we cut those puts quickly, take a small cut, and see if we can catch the retest of the mean on the pullback and maybe buy some calls to then go higher. Always just looking for a great level to put on some risk, right? Just want to risk against a level that will quickly let me know if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Look at some contracts here. Let's look at those targets again, refresh those targets. Looking at, what did we say here? 470-ish, maybe call it 465, right? Our strike is between us currently and the target. 465 call and maybe the 430 put. Let's see, we got some good volume in that 465. Let's call it this 460, a little closer. Held our opening range buy zone pretty decent here on this 460 call. So let's see, if we do start to get some downside, we're looking for some support here, maybe at this 435, right, this 434-ish from this wick. Something like this 460 call early in the week comes more into play. Maybe we buy it here at this $1.50, $2. Maybe we get an opening range buy zone here near this $3. We'll see what tomorrow looks like at open when all of these levels generate. And on the other side, we said maybe the 435 put. Nice bounce here at one of our midlines here on our Beast tool. Close to $2 as well. And just looking for the inverse, right? If we are to catch a pop first, up to that mean, maybe we don't get through it, looking to buy this 435 put at our opening range buy zone, which might open right around the same level actually. Maybe around this $3. Might still need a couple days here to actually test our beast zones below. And alright, just gonna quickly go through Qs and SPY here, as it's the same as ES and NQ, of course. So again, just looking to fire these lower time frame squeezes. QQQ looking for some support here at this daily 50 below, or maybe we go up and tap this daily squeeze top again up here near this 390. Got this daily squeeze top popping up. Got to get through this daily mean, got to get through this daily 8 and these lower time frame squeezes. Check my levels real quick again. And got some highs here from the last couple weeks, of course. But let's check out these contracts here for tomorrow. Luckily here with Qs and SPY, we have the daily contracts, of course, so we get a little bit more information from our beast contracts. So seeing some calls here a little closer to at the money in beast. Let's just check out this 375, nice psychological level. Nice psychological strike, has good volume. And closed right at our beast zone. Depending what the pre-market looks like, you know, could lose a little more theta here and open below, or the inverse maybe opens right above it. But we're looking to open right around this beast zone, so really like this 375 call as a strike here for tomorrow. Looking to hold these squeeze bottoms, right, and this low of week here. And 375 gets us pretty much right back up to this daily mean. So really like that 375 call. If we break below, looking down at this daily 50, it might be like 368, 370, something of the sorts. Go for some volume here. It's not too expensive. Let's just go over this 370. Right, and depending what tomorrow looks like, could be cheaper than what it is now. Yeah, love this. Oh, man. Right, little crack below our B zone. Try to hold it here for a little bit on Friday. Have that opening range buy zone stacking right on that B zone. Came back, oof, got picked up by our trail here, and what a rocket. Damn. Looking for just a possible repeat, right? Let's see if this contract can come back down, maybe test this B zone again, or at least test this opening range buy zone, right? We'll likely open somewhere higher, maybe 50 cents, 60 cents. We get in, that would be a nice stack here on this previous open level as well. And we could have a nice little move back up from 50 cents to $1, maybe even higher. SPY. Right, same setup here. Looking to fire these lower time frame squeezes on either side of this daily mean. Great level to put on some risk. Target to the downside, this daily 50. Target to the upside, really going to be just this 460 key psych level here, and gets us back to the top of this previous consolidation. Right, just looking for targets in previous price action as some targets above. Giving us the high from last week, the high from the week before that. So looking to 460 as an upside target. Not tomorrow, obviously it is far away, but just in our stops here on the way up, right? So let's come down here and look at this 450, most likely right at the mean, would get us back up to the mean, right? If we play this 450 near this point of control as well. Ooh, and it's a beast. Right, I always know what strikes I'm playing the day before. You know, I don't have to show up at open and be like, oh, what am I playing today? You know, this tool tells me what I'm playing the night before. Some nice interactions here on this 450 call on Friday. Nice bounce at our opening range buy zone shortly after open. Right, these zones were already here. Price action came down to meet this zone and bounced at it. All of these levels here generate on that opening candle. Got up through our opening range sell zone, had some good juice here as it did crack through our zone, but came back to retest and ultimately completely flushed to close here at our B zone. So again, looking for a similar setup, right? Looking to hold here with this overnight theta, see if we can hold this zone and go higher. And to the downside, we have that daily 50. 440 might be a heavy ask in one day. So let's get a little closer, see what they hit here. 445 with some good volume. We are pretty much there, but let's see. It won't be too expensive on a 0 day. with a similar look here as we saw on that QQQ contract, up to our opening range sell zone. Actually, let me start over here. A drop here from our open level, caught support at our beast zone and opening range buy zone that we're stacking here. Nice blast back up through the top, came right back to our beast zone, lost it for a little bit, down to 7 cents, super cheap, reclaimed our beast zone, and wow, back up to $1 here. So yeah, let's just see, you know, we're gonna get a nice opening range zone again here, maybe at around this 50-cent mark. Would love to see that. Good psych level here for this contract. Maybe catch a little support there, we'll see. And our last name here, Tesla. Tesla already catching some support here at this daily 50. Shaky after earnings here with a gap down, just kind of staying here near the mean. And yeah, just looking to continue to hold here for Tesla. Another one that just needs to cool off here with earnings, or after earnings. Gotta let the rest of these names kind of rebalance themselves, and should continue with the tech party here when it starts to happen. So yeah, just keeping it simple here, right? Looking for a move from the daily 50 up to the daily 21. And below, oof, don't got much below here. Pull up some levels here for Tesla. Oh, we got this weekly Ichimoku top. We have this daily Ichimoku top here as well. This is about at 243. Oh man, I think these Ichimoku tops are stacking right here. Nice shelf here on this weekly. Really like this target to the downside here for Tesla if we do get some more downside of the market overall. At about 243, definitely looking to buy here. And to the upside, just if we can hold this daily 50, hold this point of control, looking to this daily mean, this July point of control here as well. Just a quick look at this option chain. Tesla, another one that moves pretty decent, so some pricier contracts here. Nothing here near beast. Just gotta let this one shake out a little more. But some good setups here across the board, really. Just gotta see what these indices do. Again, really just looking here towards CPI and PPI here Thursday and Friday. Not really anything on the earnings side, nothing too wild. So yeah, that's really all I got for you guys. I'm gonna keep bringing these preps to you guys on YouTube. So yeah, stay tuned for that. If you liked some of these tools here that you saw me use that maybe you're not familiar with, we do code our own tools here in-house at Predicted Trades. Exclusively for Thinkorswim. For example, this multi-time frame moving average, right? I have multiple here, as you can see, and actually this dashed one here is my weekly. So this, in this teal cyan color, I have my weekly 8 exponential moving average, and this one is my daily 8 exponential moving average. But as you can see, I'm on a 30-minute chart here. So with this tool that we code here in-house, we are pulling data from a daily chart and displaying it here on a 30-minute chart, but you could really display it on any of these time frames, and you will see it here. Whoops. As long as you are in a lower time frame, right? Go to this 15-minute, there it is. I go to this 5-minute, there's that weekly. Here are these dailies all the way across, right? And just like that as well, we have these squeeze clouds doing the same thing, right? Let me go back here to ES, get my drawings out the way. And you can see here, our different squeeze clouds for different time frames, but all pulling to this one 30-minute chart that I'm using here on this chart. You can see multiple squeeze cloud time frames, even though I'm on one specific time frame. And this is just an easy way for us to visualize these squeezes as well. We just keep it really simple, right? They are support, they are resistance, depending on what side you're on. Of course, as long as it hasn't fired, we're typically in between squeeze clouds. So always looking for the top of these squeeze clouds to be resistance and for the bottom to be support, of course. And as you heard me talk about, a lot of times when they fire, many times we'll see a pullback to retest, right? Like we saw here on Amazon. Firing this daily squeeze here, right, as you can see, is a bigger cloud. You can see the stair stepping is bigger to represent a daily candle. And here we are getting a little support now from the top of this daily squeeze on Amazon. Even if you are not subscribed to us, you can find this in our Discord and purchase this from us directly. All of those tools I just showed you come in one pack actually here in Professor's Indicators. Just a one-time fee of $100 gets you a bunch of tools actually. I just showed you a couple here. But we also, for example, give this point of control column, which calculates point of control for you, and then you can mark it onto your chart as a drawing. So all that is available here within our Discord here in this Professor's Indicators channel, which can be found in this main section right here. We also have some free tools here right below this tool pack. A popular one here is this trend tool. You can see it here, these gold dashed lines on this chart on the right. We give this for free here. And you can just upload this right to your Thinkorswim whenever you'd like. Definitely worth checking out. I put this trend tool on everything. Here is every single little trend line, megaphone, wedge you've seen here this evening has been from that trend tool, and that all just auto-populates. I don't do any of that. Let's see if we can find some better examples of it. Here's some trend lines. No, not some good ones. Some better ones here. No. Kind of a crazy little channel here. But they just kind of populate all over the place. Get good wedges out of it. Good megaphones. Great channels populate from it. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Please check out the description in this video if you want to join our Discord. We have the links in there. We provide a ton of free content in our Discord here. Everything in this education section is completely free as soon as you join. We mostly focus on options and futures here, but all of that also, of course, entails just equity trading as well. So yeah, please jump in. We do a free Thursday. Every Thursday you can come in and actually test drive our tool for free. We'll drop you a link. And yeah, you can use it right on your own chart for free. And hopefully make a little money off of it before you even subscribe to us. So yeah, please fall into our Discord, keep up with us. We drop daily content in here. We'll keep the updates coming on the free content as well. And yeah, I'll catch y'all back here either tomorrow night or later this week for sure. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day. And I'll catch you in the chat.